Rocktober baseball is upon us for the first time here in this franchise series. The year is 2029 and the Rockies have won the division for the first time in their franchise history and got ourselves a first round bye. We will now face off against the 3-seeded St. Louis Cardinals in this matchup. I previewed the strengths of that team were at the end of last episode, but we'll quickly go through it here at the start of this one. But first, I wanted to go over what my plan is here for the pitching rotation in this series. Ultimately, I think it's going to be best for us if we use a 4-man rotation in this series. I think there are 4 guys that I trust. I'm not sure I trust Michael Kopech here. So, with that being said, we're going to start the series. Chase Dollander will be our first starter here in the playoffs. Devin Smeltzer will pitch the second game. Decided to put him in the 2 spot just because game 2 will not be an elimination game. That's a guarantee. And although Smeltzer has always been good in simulation in this franchise, I look at his ratings and don't know how well it's going to go over when we play. So I just think you look at the overalls and it'll tell you he's the worst ratings-wise pitcher. He's always been solid in simulation though, so certainly wanted to give him one of the starting spots here in the playoffs. Jose Barreto and Neil Dorsey, we've watched these guys pitch a lot in this season. We know what we're getting with these guys. Game 3 could be an elimination game. Game 4 could be an elimination game. And if we are to go to Game 5, Chase Dollander will be back on the mound. In the bullpen, I have 3 long relievers. It'll be Gorzelski, Blanco, and Reyes. Gorzelski was the best non-closing bullpen arm we had this year, so want him in that first spot. Blanco, really like where his ratings are. Reyes, to get a lefty up in there. And then these 3 didn't have great years, but we'll put him in the middle inning relief. Gonna have Rich Walsh be our setup man, and Tony Santillan, as he has been since we added him to the team, will be our closer. Lineup-wise, here's what we're going with for the lineup. Against both righties and lefties, the top 5 are the same. It will go Brown, Herrera, Murillo, Dorsey, Veen. And then against righties, it'll be Thompson, Salas, Doe, and Figueroa in that order. And then against lefties, it'll be Salas, Doe, Figueroa, and Thompson. So, for the Cardinals, they 2-0'd the Chicago Cubs, their division rivals, in their first series here to earn a spot playing against us for their team. They don't have anybody over 90 overall, but they do have a pretty solid core of pitchers. Nobody that's, gonna light it up, but they don't really have a really big weakness in any of their starting rotations, but certainly a starting rotation that I think we can take advantage of here. We do have one good reliever here in Jojo Romero. Cabrera is also pretty solid. Thompson as well. And that's really it for their 80+ overall players. They're much better on offense where they have Walker, Carlson, Gorman, Wynn, Arias, Newpar, Edmond, all well above 80. They also have Kurai here. So this is a team that's going to try to win some high-scoring ball games, I feel like, in this franchise. Now, we know this offense can certainly win some shutout games. We've seen them here in the franchise, and I feel like we're going to have to win some shutout games here, unless our pitching just goes nuts. Macias, despite the fact that he's just an 83, is a really good pitcher. He kind of struggled as the year went along. He had an ERA in the low 3s about midway through the year, but the whip is in a really good spot at 1.25. He's a lefty, so got to watch out for that. I do think this team is better suited to play lefties. I feel like a lot of our players have better ratings against lefties. So the fact that their best pitcher is a lefty makes me excited for this matchup. But with all that being said, let's hop into our first playoff game of the series. So let's get into it. The first playoff game here of the series. I am incredibly excited for this one. We're rocking the green jerseys. The Cardinals are rocking the powder blues. Beautiful uniform matchup here for this first game. The crowd is absolutely here for the first postseason performance here in Coors Field in over a decade at this point. The last time the Rockies were in the playoffs was before COVID hit, and we're in the year 2029, so it's been a long time coming. The fans absolutely deserve to see some playoff baseball once more, and we are here to give it to them. Now, as we start this game, there is one thing I wanted to talk about, and that is the fact that I have Brian Doe playing center field, despite the fact that there were some support in the comments for Logan Cerny to play center field for us. And ultimately, the reasoning for that is that I just think the upside of Brian Doe is going to be important here in the playoffs. Maybe he can have an awesome game, a 2-home-run game, or maybe he hits 3 home runs in 2 games, something like that. That could swing a game, could swing a series, and I just don't really see that with Cerny. And I just feel like, give me the upside over the safety here in that spot. Chase Dollander will be on the mound here for this game, and he starts things off going against Luis Arias here, now playing for the Cardinals at this point in the franchise. He is out. Dylan Carlson up next, though. That's going to touch down in right field. Up off against the wall, Herrera with the throw in. It's an easy double for Dylan Carlson. Not taking long for this Cardinals offense to show up here. Naylor hitting in the 3 spot for St. Louis here. Swiping at a high fastball for the first strikeouts of the game. Walker hit 364 in that 2-game series against the Cubs, and Murillo can't field the grounder. One thing that might be underrated into this playoff series is this is a very young team. There's probably a lot of nerves. Not only is this team making its playoff debut, but a lot of these players, pretty much every player, is actually making their playoff debut as well. And sometimes there's a lot of nerves that come with that with a young team. Ultimately, though, no harm, no foul on the error. Cardinals can't score anything in the first. We're going to be going against Gordon Graceffo here. Was not a good pitcher in his 32 games started. 6.79 ERA with a whip well over 1.6. This has got to be a guy that we get some offense off of in this game, and Kyle Brown gets the party started with a little bloop single to center field. It's exactly how you want to start off the playoffs here. This has got to be a big offensive performance. This is probably going to be the worst pitcher we face here in this series. Herrera. This one is going to be down for a hit. Newbar almost with an incredible diving play there over in right field, but it's off the glove, and it's 2 consecutive singles to begin this game for Colorado. Herrera, a star rookie for this team, and would have been an awesome highlight play by the Cardinals defense. Rafael Murillo will start this postseason with a fly out to right field. He will advance Kyle Brown to third, though, into sacrifice fly territory for the MVP, Neil Dorsey. Just 20 years old, already bringing home that MVP award. This guy has a chance to have an incredibly special career, and as a rookie already in the postseason as well. Hope he has an awesome postseason run here. 45 home runs, over a 300 average for Dorsey, over a 900 OPS. Incredible rookie year. here in his first at-bat of the postseason, falling behind 1-2 on the count. Fouls off another one here. Good battle with Graceffo. 1-2 pitch upcoming again. This one's hit on the ground to Mason Wynn. He covers second base and throws it on to first. And the Rockies can't come away with anything in an inning that they had no outs and 2 runners on. You really hope that Murillo and Dorsey can come through for you in that moment, but again, might be a little thing with nerves with this very young team. Chase Dollander is going to allow to walk to Nolan Gorman to lead off here the top of the second. It'll bring up Brendan Donovan. Was awesome in those 2 games against the Cubs. Here he's got himself a nice hit to center field, but it's run down by Brian Doe. The first out. He's still got the speed and the fielding attributes that I think we're not going to really see much of a difference over on defense with Brian Doe, which was another reason why I was comfortable starting him at center field. Murillo, the throw to first will end off the second for the Cardinals. Got Veen, Sterling Thompson, and Ethan Salas set to make their first appearances here. Thompson, a breakout power hitter in this last season, gets this one to drop right in that shallow left field area in front of Jordan Walker. Salas, this one's hit well to right field. This will get back up against the wall. Nootbaar in pursuit. This could score the run from first, and it does. Sterling Thompson slides home for the first run of the postseason, courtesy of catcher Ethan Salas. Get another view of the base running here. The throw just not quite in time. 9-hitter Omar Figueroa. Slow chopper to short, and the second is over. Salas gets the scoring started in this game 1 of the NLDS. 4 hits on the board for Colorado through 2 innings. Dollander's gonna bean Luis Arias right in the thigh with the top of the order back up for St. Louis. Murillo to Brown, and a leaping throw for the 6-4-3 double play. Carlson hit it right at Murillo. He makes the easy throw, and then Kyle Brown adding a bit of flair on that double play. Full count here for Naylor. Jammed up on the inside, and it's caught by Kyle Brown. A clean inning for Dollander. Still just 1 St. Louis hit. Brown cracks one to left center field. It's a line drive homer to lead off the bottom of the third, nearly 450 feet on a line with an exit velocity around 105 miles an hour. This Rockies crowd is loving it. Always a bonus to get a home run from your leadoff man. And that puts the Rockies on top 2-0 here early in this game. Just barreled that one up nicely. Got about as much as that you'll probably ever see Kyle Brown get. Herrera singled his last time out. This one to center field, and it drops down just in front of Dylan Carlson. That'll make him 2 for 2 on the day and bring up our superstar Rafael Murillo. This one sneaks past the infield. And much like we started off the first, we've got 2 consecutive base knocks. Man on first and second. No outs. Of course, we started the inning with the solo homer. First hit of the postseason for Murillo. Neil Dorsey, unfortunately, could not make anything of it, but Zach Veen up after him gets this one down for a hit. Extra bases, he'll bring home one Rocky run, and he'll bring home another, a 2-run double for Zach Veen. Thompson, 1 for 1 today. Diving play made by Mason Wynn, but it's not going to be enough to get the out here. Does keep it from heading into the outfield. Might have saved a Rafael Murillo run there as well with the defensive efforts. Salas swinging out of his shoes for the second out here of the third. Love to be able to bring home one more run here as we got a runner on third. Brian Doe up to the plate. This one struck well to left field. Walker in pursuit, and it's gone. A 3-run blast from Brian Doe makes it 7 runs for the Rockies. 6 here in the third inning alone. Some excellent stuff here from the Rockies offense, exploding here in the inning to take a massive 7-0 lead. And this is exactly why Brian Doe is playing here. He's got the ability to send really any pitch deep. That's already the end of the day for Graceffo. We really needed to hit him well today, and we did just that. Figueroa will go down swinging to end off the explosive inning. Rockies now up to 10 hits through 6 hits in the third inning alone. Full count here for Jordan Walker, and he's swinging at the changeup low. Third strikeout for Chase. Now a full count pitch for Nolan Gorman. He swings through it as well, out in front of the changeup. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chase Dollander. So far, having an excellent outing through 4. Unfortunately for the Rockies, here in the fourth, not able to get much going. Rafael Murillo would fly out to end the inning. A quiet showing for Colorado to follow up that excellent third. 2-2 count. Brennan Donovan goes down swinging. Dollander starting to pick up the strikeout pace here, and I am here for it. Another full count pitch. Kevin Parada grounds out, and it's another scoreless inning pitch for Dollander. He has been everything we could have hoped for here in game 1. Dorsey still looking for his first hit, and he'll have to wait just a bit longer, as he'll go down swinging there to Justin Steele. Thompson's 2 for 2. Not gonna make it a hat trick here, as the infield fly ends off another scoreless inning. Scoring has started to slow down here in these middle innings. Dollander back out here for the 6th. Pitch count getting up just a bit here as his 80th pitch. We'll get the fly out here. Excellent pursuit by Brian Doe. 2 down here, and Naylor will look at the fastball high in the zone for strike 3. Chase Dollander, what a first playoff start he's given us here. Salas, 2-2 pitch is in for a base knock. You lit off the 6th. Would love to see some more offense here. It's been a while since we've seen any runs scored. Doe follows that up with a single as well. Situation we've had plenty of times in this game already. A man on first and second, still no one gone, and Doe having himself a nice playoff debut. Of course, brought in a 3-run homer last time out. Figueroa, though, this not looking good. 6-4-3 double play. And just like we had in the first inning when we had a man on first and second, you can't ground into a double play when you have that. Kyle Brown looking at the fastball in the zone for strike 3. And still no runs since that third inning. Top of the 7th now. Dollander will remain in the game despite the pitch count. Maybe getting into dangerous zone. His energy not going to be very high at this point. And the Cardinals are on the board. Courtesy of Nolan Gorman. An electrifying power hitter here. This time goes for 406 feet. And with the walk allowed previously, that's going to be a 2-run blast. 7-2. Now in the 7th. This is an offense you don't want to mess around with. They are certainly capable of scoring runs in a hurry. And that's going to end the day for Chase Dollander here. I know he was pitching a shutout game, but I still think maybe 6 innings was the perfect amount for him. But you got to be happy with what we got from him today. Jeff Ramirez will come in to substitute him. And he allows a single here to Brendan Donovan. Been a really high-level contact hitter so far these playoffs for the Cardinals. Mason Wynn goes down swiping at that slider. Ramirez, pretty good season for us this last year. Hoping he can continue to be productive here in the playoffs. That's going to get down for a little bloop single. 2 runners on, 2 outs here. Top of the order back up for St. Louis. Arias gets this one fair down the right field. The 3rd St. Louis run now on the board. 7th inning rally here, giving St. Louis a spark of hope. Especially with their best hitters now up to the plate. Carlson, another base knock, and that's going to make it 4 runs for the Cardinals in the inning. This offense is certainly capable of stacking hits, and they also have the power hitters who can bring a lot of these guys home. A dangerous offense for sure. Ramirez not going to last long in this game. Andrew Moore comes to replace him. But it's not going to stop the Cardinals offense quite yet. You've got to be kidding me. Make it 5-7 now for the Cardinals. Josh Naylor getting involved here on this productive inning. I mean, from nothing to 5 here in the 7th. Not going to love that. The bullpen not helping us out at all here so far, and they've only pitched an inning. Clemente, 2 hits already today. He has been excellent for us, and if it wasn't for having an MVP teammate like Neil Dorsey, I think his rookie season would have been a lot more hyped up. Don't get me wrong, though. I absolutely love Clemente Herrera. He's going to be a prime candidate for a big-time contract come the offseason, especially if he's going to be making plays like this one. Colorado needed a response after a massive St. Louis inning, and they get it right away from Clemente Herrera. 381 feet on this homer. Hit that baseball a ton. Coming off the bat, well over 100 miles an hour. Herrera is a really special young player, and I'm excited to see what the future of his career holds as well. Murillo 1 for 3 today, and that's not going to make his highlight reel by any means. Swinging on a pitch well inside the zone there. Dorsey trying to get involved in this game. It's just not going to work out for him. Not a good first game of the playoffs here for Dorsey so far. Zach Veen grounds over to the shortstop, and nothing doing after that solo shot from Herrera, but it does put the Rockies back up on top by 3. Rich Walsh will enter the game here in the 8th for the Rockies. By far our best strikeout pitcher that we have in the organization. Excited to see him pitch. We haven't been able to see much of him so far yet. But he did well this year in simulation for sure, earning the playoff roster spot. And there you see it. Strikeout on Nolan Gorman. That'll bring up Brendan Donovan. And Brian Doe comes up to retrieve it. And after a really strong 7th, the Rockies able to keep the Cardinals held down here in the 8th. Thompson lead off it. Rockies trying to add some insurance here before a potential closing situation. Sala sets down for another hit. That's his 3rd of the day. An excellent game here from Ethan. Feels like we really needed to see one from him. He did heat up a bit over the second half of last season, and it looks like that's translating here to the postseason. Doe, 2 hits so far in this game, and now he draws a walk. The bases are juiced for the 9-hitter, Omar Figueroa. One of just 2 players not to get involved in the game so far. Unfortunately, though, not going to start doing so here. No advances there. So Kyle Brown now with the chance to add to the Rockies' lead. And somehow that's caught by Jordan Walker. Thought for sure that was going to be a base hit for Kyle. Would have been his 3rd of the game. Instead, it'll be a sacrifice fly. Adding 1 to the Rocky lead. Herrera lifts it to left, and the flash of the glove. Jordan Walker makes the play. So it's a 5-9 ball game here, headed to the top of the 9th. Walsh will remain in the game for the Rockies, getting the first out against Mason Wynn. We've got the bottom of the order, exactly what we want to see here. Out of Parada, 0-2. Diving play made by Murillo, but it's off his glove. So it'll be a single for the 9-hitter. Top of the order back up once more. And this one gets into the outfield for Luis Arias. Will this score a run? No, the runner will hold at 3rd. So 5-9, but now 2 runners in scoring position. Starting to get a little dangerous here in the top of the 9th. Walsh was really good in his first inning. Is starting to have some troubles here. Accidentally skipped the cutscene, but our closer is now in the game. Trying to secure this Colorado victory. Dylan Carlson up to the plate for St. Louis. He's 2 for 4 in this game. It's this one. Deep to left field. Zach Veen snags it, but it will be deep enough to tag. It's now 6-9. Runner on second. 2 outs. Now we need to retire Josh Naylor here. has one hit in this game. It was a pretty big one. Here it gets through the infield. That should score the 7th Cardinals run. They're not done yet. Trying to build a rally here in the 9th to get back in this game. Naylor has come through in the clutch so far here in game 1 for his Cardinals team. Walker, though, hitless in this game. We know how dangerous of a hitter he is. He's the best player on this Cardinals team. And one swing here could tie this ball game. We need to get an out. Tony Santillan has been a really solid closer for us this year after being an excellent closer the year before. This is the most important close we've needed from him yet. Two to one the counts, and gets Walker swinging it at that one. And we close out a game 1 victory here. 2-2 counts, and somehow Jordan Walker got a bat on that. I thought that was strike 3 swinging for sure. Just got enough of that pitch though. And here it is, the circle change gets Walker swinging, and the Rockies are victorious in game 1. Excellent pitching from Chase Dollander. It got a bit more sketchy once the bullpen got involved. But Rockies come in and handle business. This is a game we absolutely needed to win. We had our best pitcher on the mound. They had their worst. This would have been an ugly loss here to start the series. Got a little bit sketchy towards the end, but 9-7 is the final score. Rockies with 5 more hits. Did have an error though right there at the beginning of the game with Rafael Murillo. Ultimately didn't end up hurting us, and Rockies win. We're hopping right into game 2 here. Another game in front of our Rocky faithful here in Coors Field. Trying to take a 2-0 lead before sending things over to St. Louis. We'll be playing in some rain here. We'll see if that affects the offenses at all. In game 2. Of course, 9-7 just came off that victory here. Best of 5 series here. Taking a 2-0 lead would be massive. Devin Smeltzer will be taking the mound for Colorado. Well, we'll be going against Connor Jerpy. So the Cardinals coming off, a wild card series. Starting this series with kind of the bottom of their rotation here. So we really need to beat these guys, because starting in game 3 and, game 4 and 5, if necessary, we're going to be facing the top end of their rotation while they'll be facing the bottom end of ours. Smeltzer here. Been a pressure on him, but he's been a consistently solid pitcher for us throughout his entire time with our organization. Whip at 135. Can he do it though? When we watch, he's great in sim, but he's got to do it now with the eyes on him here. And he gives up the leadoff single to Arias here. Arias, an excellent hitter against righties, but he still can hold his own against lefties as well. Carlson. This one's deep to right center field. That is 2 consecutive hits for the Cards. And St. Louis is on the board. Arias able to score on that extra base hit from first base. Was hit pretty well there, all the way up to the wall. And Brian Doe doesn't have the strongest of arms. His first strikeout of the day, though, comes against Josh Naylor. Just a very well located pitch there for strike 3. Naylor was very good for St. Louis in game 1, and just the 1 run will be all St. Louis gets here. Couple hits on the board, already more than our starting pitcher allowed last game. Well, I guess he ended up actually allowing 2 hits by the very end, but it took until the 7th inning to allow that second hit. Clemente Herrera, really good game last time up, and he's starting this one off with a bang as well. He's in for a double. 1 out here and a man in scoring position for the Rockies. Got a really nice hold of that baseball. Jordan Walker not able to track it down. Would have been very difficult to ask him to do that. Rafael Murillo does excellent against lefties, and he's hit this one deep to left field, and it's caught right at the top of the wall there. 2 more feet, and we're talking about a 2-run blast for Murillo, and he knows it. Not happy with that there, getting robbed. Dorsey, one of only 2 players to not get a hit in the lineup last game, and we'll have to wait a bit longer for him. Smelter pitching to Luis Arias here. One of their platoon players, hitting only against lefties. He is out. Lars Nootbaar up next. This one's hit well. That'll be down for extra bases. Zach Veen corrals it. And it's a 1-out double for the Cards. Doing a much better job of just getting consistent hits here to begin the game is St. Louis. Rain not looking to be affecting them too much, but ultimately they would not be able to bring that run home. It is 1-0. Salas hitting 750 after that first game. He had an excellent start to this series, and he keeps it going with a hit here as well. Already his 4th hit of the series. Doe, another player who was excellent for us last game out, and Salas going for the steal is going to get an extra base on top of it with an errant throw from behind the plate. Almost kind of looked like he knew it was coming, because normally you'd see him slide, but he was not even close there. Just instantly took off to third. Gotta make the Cardinals pay for their errors. That's one of my biggest beliefs in all of baseball. When there's an error, you gotta make them pay for it. Brian Doe, though, not able to do it, striking out there. I mean, Jerpy got him swinging at a pitch that was not even close. Omar Figueroa, the only other player other than Neil Dorsey, still yet to get a hit, and he's not going to do it here. The Cardinals do not pay for their error here. 0-2 pitch for Arias is an excellent strikeout again. When you don't throw it hard, you got to be able to locate well, and Smeltzer has done so on a couple of occasions on these strikeouts here, right on these edges. Carlson, he's down swinging as well, back-to-back strikeouts. Here to begin the top of the 3rd. Naylor pops one up to center field. Brian Doe settles underneath it easily. And we finally get a clean inning here from Smeltzer. But can the offense for Colorado decide to show up to this ball game here? Bottom of the 3rd. Sterling Thompson! A deep blast for his first home run of the postseason. Broke out this last season with 33 homers, with a previous career high of 18. Got some massive ratings boost because of it, and he's showing it off here in the postseason. 430 feet, 100 miles an hour off the bat. This slider left right over the middle, maybe a little inside, but Thompson makes him pay. This is somebody that's kind of before this season was not somebody that we could trust against lefties, but he got some massive power boosts. Still, his contact versus lefties isn't very high. That power is something special. Rafael Murillo, speaking of special power, almost had a home run last time out and gets it this time. The Rockies offense has arrived here to this ball game, and Murillo gets his first postseason home run, hopefully the first of many. Love watching Murillo hit against lefties. This guy is truly dominant. One of, if not the very best lefty hitters in all of baseball. Dorsey down looking after him to end off the third, though. Not the start we were hoping for from the reigning MVP. But a couple of solo shots put the Rockies on top as we head into the fourth. So far, a good inning for Smeltzer here. 2 gone, but can't quite get the 1-2-3 inning with a Urias. Reaching base for the second time. Rockies faithful. Waving them towels here. And then the slider was beautiful to get Nootbaar down swinging. Back-to-back games, and we're getting some really solid outings from our starting pitching here. After the first inning, wasn't sure if Smeltzer would have it today, but he has been pitching quite well. Brian Doe with 2 outs. Gets himself a base knock. Continues to play well here in the NLDS. Figueroa. This one up the third base line, and it'll end the fourth. So nothing doing for either side. Score will remain 2-1. Let's hop into some fifth inning action here. It's a full count for Ivan Herrera. This one's hit deep, and Brian Doe can't quite get to it. And that's one play I definitely could have seen Logan Cerny making. I think just the fact that Brian Doe, a little short, maybe doesn't quite have the reach to get to that, whereas Logan Cerny might have. Arias deep to center field again. This time Brian Doe able to run it down at the warning track. Runner tags up to third base. 2 gone here in the fifth. Carlson, 0-1 pitch. Low in the zone. It's right at Devin. He makes the throw to first. And another scoreless inning pitched. 4 straight for Smeltzer. Sterling Thompson, not a great look there. Swinging at that pitch. The full count for Kyle Brown. Jammed up inside, but he hits it well to left field. Had a homer last time out, and not quite going to replicate it here. It's caught at the warning track by Walker. Second time Walker's been able to snag a near home run, although that one certainly wouldn't have made it over the wall. Herrera down swinging as well, so Jerpy, apart from allowing a couple of solo shots, having himself a pretty good day. Rockies would decide to stick with a lefty here as we head into the sixth. Reyes coming in to relieve Devin Smeltzer. Doesn't have the stamina to go super deep into these games, does Devin? But a very good performance from our starting pitcher once again. Now, last game, things started to go a little haywire. Once we got to the bullpen, gotta have a better performance from them today. Arias, though, makes it 2 hits here in the top of the 6th. This could tie this game up, and it will. Jordan Walker slides home safely, and Arias having himself quite a day. Just settled down right there in the corner, made it difficult for Herrera to track it down in a timely manner. Lars Nootbaar makes it another hit. That's going to score run number 3 for the Cardinals, and they're back up on top. Nootbaar coming through for the squad, and Herb Reyes, that low hits per 9, certainly manifesting itself here in the 6th. There we get the strikeout, though, to end the inning finally. But so far, kind of looking like a similar game script to last game where starting pitcher does an excellent job, but the bullpen already starting to show some weakness here. Murillo hits it to Mason Wynn, but took all of his momentum to just try to stop and throw, so Murillo will beat the throw there from Wynn. Almost tripped over himself. That's how far he had to go to snag that ball. Neil Dorsey, full count, and gets himself on base for the first time. Maybe it's just like a basketball player. You know, a shooter, sometimes they just need to see a layup go in. Then they can start hitting shots from deep. Hopefully that's the case here with Dorsey. Wild pitch there. Murillo tries to advance, but he's thrown out. Didn't think that was a terrible decision there, but it was just very well handled there behind the plate. Able to quickly recover. And then the throw beats him. Although on that camera angle, it definitely looks like the glove never actually touched Murillo. Zach Vane gets a big hold of this ball. It's deep and it's over the wall. The Rockies are back in front. Zach Vane's first dinger here of the postseason. Nearly 440 feet on this one. Now it's hard not to think about the fact that it could have been a 5-3 ball game if Murillo just hadn't been caught trying to advance to third. But regardless, the Rockies are back on top. Salas, been excellent for us so far here in this series and wants another big hit here. It's back-to-back Rocky home runs. Ethan Salas having quite the start to his postseason here. This is the kind of stuff that we know he's capable of. Reminds me of that spring training we saw from him back when he earned his spot on the roster probably a year earlier than I thought he would have been. This is the kind of stuff we were seeing from him then. It's been a while, hasn't manifested itself in the regular season, but starting to come through now. That'll be the end of the day for Jerpy, and now it's Brendan White. Doe crushes this ball to left field, and it is 3 straight home run blasts for the Rockies. Cardinals change pitchers, and it doesn't matter. This one was nearly 500 feet. Doe got a ton of that pitch, a moonshot to extend this Colorado lead. What a display of offense here. When I started this series, the main thing I wanted to focus on was adding power. I wanted to make this feel like a Rockies series. And it's coming to fruition here in the playoffs in a beautiful way. Rockies now lead 6-3. Sterling Thompson, though, pop up into the infield, and that will end the 6th inning here. Cardinals took the lead for a brief moment, but the Rockies taking it right back with a 3-home-run inning back-to-back-to-back. I mean, can't ask for more than that. Mario Lozano coming in to the 7th for Colorado. Herb Reyes only going to pitch the single inning here. I think that's a pretty good decision after struggling a bit there in the 6th. 2 up, 2 down here for Lozano, and make it a beautiful inning for his first postseason appearance. Top of the order back up for Colorado here. Bottom of the 7th. Unfortunately, not able to do anything with it. Already got 2 outs here for Murillo, and he goes down as well. Rockies go down quietly here. Both sides getting through the 7th inning quickly. Rich Walsh back onto the field. He was good in the 8th. Struggled when we asked him to come back out in the 9th last time. Hopefully, if we can ask him to just pitch the single inning, he can have himself a good game, but allows a walk to start it off there. Full count for Walker. Make that 2 consecutive walks. Not loving the start here. The tying run is now at the plate with Nolan Gorman, and he's got a ton of power. Has already hit a home run in this series, and we need Rich Walsh to have a good sequence here. In a little bit of a jam. Gets ahead of Nolan Gorman 0-2 here, and this is where you want to see that elite strikeout stuff that Walsh has. 0-2 pitch is a miss over the middle, and it's crushed by Nolan Gorman. The Cardinals tie the game on a 454-foot blast by Gorman. You can't miss that badly on an 0-2 pitch. That's got to be out of the zone, man. Not right over the middle of it. Gorman just cranked this ball deep, man. Walsh not looking great there. Ramirez wasn't great his last time out either. Hoping for a better performance this time, but it's back-to-back homers for the Cardinals this time. And St. Louis has retaken the lead. You've got to be kidding me, man. Our bullpen has been horrendous in these first 2 games. And our bullpen ain't that bad. We're ranked as one of the better bullpens in baseball, but you wouldn't know it by this series, man. Allowing tons of hits, allowing home runs. The works. It's been 4 runs here in the inning, and we don't even have an out yet. We've had more pitcher switches than outs. That is until now. This one should be 2. The throw from Brown is offline. You've got to be kidding me, man. Kind of looked like the glove tagged him anyway, but the game didn't show it as such. We do get out of the 8th, though. St. Louis back on top. Cabrera, the setup man, coming out for St. Louis. Now trying to protect that 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th. We've got Neil Dorsey. This would be an excellent time for him to make his first mark here on the postseason. He does get his first hit. Single chopped up the third base line. Nice to finally have him involved here. Reigning MVP. No, better late than never. That's what I always say. Zach Veen. He's been playing well so far in this series and draws himself a walk. That'll bring up Ethan Salas. Speaking of players playing well, Salas, man, 5 hits in the series already. 2-2 pitch, and it's hit to the first baseman. It's a 3-6-3 double play, man. You can't ground into a double play there. Such a big spot in this game. Such a good scoring opportunity for the team, but with 2 outs on the board, now the Rockies need something from Brian Doe. Talked about starting him over Cerny because of the fact that I thought he had the upside to swing a game or swing a series. He's been excellent so far in the first 2 games. And this is the biggest spot yet. Can he come through, tie the game, or even take a lead with his 3rd homer of the postseason? Falls behind 1-2. This one is going to be a strikeout, but the ball is behind the catcher, and he beats the throw. That's the speed you get with Brian Doe. You also get those strikeouts as well. His plate skills aren't the best, being in just the 50s, but still gets himself on base. Omar Figueroa, his first hit of the series is a big one. That's going to tie the game. Brian Doe has a ton of speed at first. He could score as well, and he does. Rockies on top. Figueroa hitless up to this point, and he comes through when we need him the most. What a play from Omar Figueroa, and the Cardinals are forced to switch pitchers here to Zach Thompson. They want a lefty to face against Sterling Thompson. He's much better against righties, but he still has that power going against lefties, and he shows it off here again. Sterling Thompson, his 2nd time mashing a lefty. 377 feet, and it extends the Rocky lead to 3. It's been an offensive explosion here late in this ball game. It was not looking like a very high-scoring game when the starters were out, but both bullpens failing them now. Kyle Brown, the inning's not over yet. Herrera, another guy who hits lefties really well. This one was high, but he still got a good hold of it. It is tracked down on the warning track again. How many times have we seen Jordan Walker make a play at the warning track in this game? We're so close to an even bigger performance from the offense here, and now it comes down to our closer, Tony Santillan. Can he finish off what has been a high-octane, exciting baseball game here? Has some cushion. We do have a 3-run lead. This should be an easy close for a caliber of pitcher as Santillan, but Kyle Brown can't make the throw. It almost actually looked like the throw was there, but Figueroa just didn't catch it. I got to see this one again. You can't be making mistakes in the 9th inning, man. Makes the spinning throw. It's off the hop. They gave the error to Kyle Brown, but I'm really unsure who it actually belongs to. Josh Naylor. This one's deep, and it's a 1-run ball game just like that. The Rockies with an error, and the Cardinals immediately make us pay. Naylor has been so clutch in the late game of both of these series, man. Both of these games, excuse me. When his team has needed him in the 8th and the 9th innings, he has come through time and time again. Now Jordan Walker. It's this one deep, but it's going to be a fly out to deep left field. Nolan Gorman tied the game his last time up to the plate. Has a chance to do it again here, top of the 9th. Rich Walsh with a terrible mistake, 0-2. Just last inning. Now it's Tony Santillan who's ahead 0-2. Can he do a better job of finishing the at-bat? This pitch low in the zone, but Gorman got a good feel of it, and he's done it again. Nolan Gorman already 4 home runs in the postseason, the 3rd of this series, and the 2nd inning in a row that he's tied the game with a home run blast. This one, just a solo blast, but the Rockies have blown the 3-run lead here in the top of the 9th. Josh Naylor and Nolan Gorman both playing incredibly well for the Cardinals. That'll bring in Andrew Moore. Trying to make sure that we don't allow anything else for the Cardinals, so we at least can guarantee extra innings if we can't walk it off here, bottom of the 9th. It's now 2 gone. 2-0 pitch to Nootbaar. That's going to be in for a hit. Down the right field line, off the wall. Nootbaar in for the double. The bullpen, man, I just can't understand how bad it's playing. We got some players with some pretty good ratings, and Victor Scott is in for Nootbaar here to run the bases. Mason Wynn gets a big hold of this baseball. It is caught at the warning track. Finally, our turn to make a play at the warning track in this game. It's a tie ball game. The Rockies, an opportunity to walk it off here, bottom of the 9th, but this game should have been over by now. Murillo. This is going to get in for a hit. Carlson, though, a nice angle to the ball, is going to keep it to a single. But Murillo gets the offense going here to lead off the bottom of the 9th. Going against the lefty. You want to see him mash there, and he's done a good job today. He will be pinch run for Logan Cerny. I guess I understand it here, because if Neil Dorsey gets an extra base hit, that's the kind of speed that can score and end this game. But I don't know if I love a game that definitely has a possibility to go into extra innings losing Rafael Murillo. I do think it's a solid decision, though. But Neil Dorsey, no! He grounds into a double play again! Neil! What are you doing, man? It just has not been his series. 0-2 for Veen, and we're headed to extra innings. I can't believe. Why is Andrew Moore out still? The dude's got like 19 stamina, yet he's out for another inning here. I would not have allowed him to come out here for the 10th. That's just playing way too dangerous with energy here, although To be fair, he's got 2 straight outs to lead things off. But he's already has more pitches here than his stamina. And Kyle Datras here in for Rafael Murillo, unable to make the throw to beat the runner there, despite his best efforts. So there's a man on first. Josh Naylor. Man, this man been clutch for the Cardinals. He's got another extra base hit. And the Cardinals are on top. Why is Andrew Moore pitching, man? Get this guy out of here. He doesn't have the stamina. And he's still out there. What are we doing, man? Andrew Moore is about to pitch 30 pitches, which is, this is insane. We have pitchers that we haven't brought out for this game. Why are these? This is insane, man. Jordan Walker. This is going to be into the outfield for another hit. Zach Veen tumbling over. And it's a 2-run St. Louis lead. Just horrible decision making there, man. And we bring in Phil Gorzelski, but it's way too late. This guy should have been on the mound to start the 10th. Ahead of Nolan Gorman 0-2. That hasn't been a good spot for us in this game so far, but Gorzelski actually gets the out there. I just can't believe we decided to stick with Andrew Moore for that long. You can't make mistakes like that in the playoffs. And now Jojo Romero in to try to seal the deal. He has 40 saves in 42 opportunities in the regular season. And now we've got 1 out. Ethan Salas unable to start us off. Brian Doe. It's it right at Arias, but he can't field it cleanly. Now the Cardinals pick up an error. They made us pay when we had an error in the 9th. Now we have to make them pay for their error in the 10th. We have to. They have not done a good job of making teams pay for their errors here. But a strikeout there from O.R. Figueroa. And we've got 2 outs. I can't believe we're about to blow this game. This should have been an easy Rockies victory, man. 3-run lead heading into the top of the 9th. Now it's Sterling Thompson here up to the plate, and he has shown the ability to hit some lefties here. So far in this postseason, 2 home runs already. We need him to come through for us here. We can't drop this game too, man. 2-1. Make it 3-1. Maybe Jojo Romero trying to avoid him a bit with how much Sterling's shown his power. Although I don't know if I'd love to go against Kyle Brown either. He certainly has a lot of clutch about him. Thompson gets a free base. Got runners on first and second now. 2 outs. Rockies not going away quietly here. Oh, Brown, that would have been a big-time hit, but it goes just foul. Over the middle, Kyle Brown. This one drops down for a hit. Jordan Walker has a really big arm, but it's not going to matter here. 1 run scores. The Rockies are not going away quite yet. What an awesome game. Both teams fighting. Neither team wants to give this game 2 away. Clemente Herrera just 1 for 5 today. Swinging at the first pitch. It's down for a hit. That'll score the tying run for sure and might even score another. Kyle Brown going for home and he slides in safely. The Rockies win. The Rockies somehow pull out the victory. Clemente Herrera with the biggest hit of his life. An instant classic here in Game 2 of the NLDS. Neither team was going down without a fight in this game. And just an insane ending for a Rockies victory. I know I said I was going to do 3 games here, but I just don't see how we can follow that up with another game. Also, this episode is going to be well over an hour already with these crazy games, and so I think we'll wait and do Game 3 in a separate episode. But what an insane victory for Colorado. The best game, in my opinion, of the series so far. Because of the stakes. You gotta love it. A beautiful way to start off the postseason portion of this franchise draft-only series. That's all I've got for this episode. I'll be back soon with more, and I'll see you then. Go Rockies!